Thank you for taking a moment to listen to our story, the story of USO of North Carolina. The mission of USO of North Carolina is to enhance the quality of life of the U.S. Armed Forces personnel and their families, and to create a cooperative relationship between U.S. military communities and civilian communities. We are a 501c3 organization which receives no federal or state funds and is not part of the military. We survive on the generosity of the people of North Carolina and our sponsors. The USO was founded on February the 4th, 1941 by President Franklin D. Roosevelt. President Roosevelt ordered 6 civilian agencies which were providing wartime support to the military to unite services and create a new organization, the United Service Organizations, USO. The mission of the World War II USO was to provide a home away from home for hundreds of thousands of young men who were entering the military and leaving home for the first time.
As a service member, being away from home on holidays was a tough thing as a young service member. And to be able to come here and at least share some support and feel the love, I guess if you want to call it that.
In this country, dances, entertainment, and other forms of recreational activities were provided by local USO affiliates to help ease the pain of loneliness and the terrors of war. The first USO in America opened in Fayetteville, North Carolina, shortly after the presidential decree. In all, some 7,500 performers brought laughter, music, and a touch of home to front lines in 2 war zones, and also to those recuperating in stateside hospitals. During the periods of conflict in Korea and Vietnam, the USO opened centers in close proximity to combat areas. In Vietnam, local communities were off limits. USO centers often provided the only place for off-duty recreation, including a chance to use a telephone for a call home. Following the Vietnam War, public support for the military and related organizations waned, and the creation of the all-volunteer armed forces presented new challenges, including not only providing services for the young single servicemen of a bygone era, but servicing an entirely new profile of military personnel, which now included men and women who were more likely married, and many of whom had children. A new charter issued by President Jimmy Carter in 1980 defined this new mission for the USO as it continues to provide a home away from home for single military people as well as the military family, and is the only independent, congressionally chartered organization devoted solely to providing much-needed human services to our armed forces personnel and their families.
Being away from home, fighting in a war, it's a difficult situation for the family, and we are here to provide a smile, a cup of coffee, encouragement sometimes, comfort to a widow. We provide a touch of home for our troops.
Even when Congress dissolved the charter for the World Headquarters in 1947, the Jacksonville USO Center continued to operate under the USO banner with the local support of the community and military bases. During the board retreat of 2003, an aggressive strategic plan was developed to establish the goals of what the USO was to be by 2007. First step was to open a center at the Raleigh-Durham International Airport with the vision of establishing centers in Fayetteville and in Charlotte. RDU Center opened its doors in August of 2004. Charlotte Center opened just 2 years later, and Fort Bragg Center opened in July of 2008, bringing the USO back to Fayetteville, where it all began. Our multi-purpose recreational centers at Fort Bragg and in Jacksonville provide activities and services for military personnel and their families, with programs like United Through Reading, Smiles Over the Miles, holiday feasts, Breakfast with Santa, and Breakfast with Bunny, and our cyber cafes, libraries, snack bars, video games, pool tables, and ping pong, large flat-screen panel TVs, and entertainment extravaganzas. We ensure the men and women of our military and their families never want for a touch of home, and never go hungry over the holidays. Our very small staff of 21, supported by our Army of Volunteers, now over 700, work tirelessly to provide the service members and their families with every need and comfort we can. We serve them as they serve the country. Thank you for listening to our presentation. Come see more of what we do every day and how you can help by checking out our website at uso-nc.org.